Walker's face drained of color as I slammed the documents onto the picnic table, revealing the old survey map and legal papers that proved my ownership. His eyes darted from the papers to me, then back again, like a man who'd just been caught in a lie so big he couldn't breathe. "This can't be," he muttered, voice trembling. "This land, this easement, this can't be legal." I leaned in, voice steady. "It is. My grandfather made sure of that. Filed it with the county, sealed it with his signature. And you, Walker, you never had the rights to build that road, or to promise lake access you didn't own. Your entire plan is built on lies." His hands clenched into fists, but he didn't say a word. Instead, he stared at the papers like they were poison. I knew then I'd hit him where it hurt. His carefully crafted scheme, the months of planning, the millions in development, all crumbling right in front of him. I watched as his jaw tightened and his eyes flicked with desperation. That's when I realized he wasn't just some developer trying to turn a profit. No, he was a man who'd built his entire career on deception, and now that deception was unraveling faster than he could patch it up. "Listen," I said, voice low but firm. "You can threaten all you want, but the truth's on my side. That road? It's mine. The lake? It's mine. And this land? It's been in my family for over a century. You might have thought you could take what you wanted, but you've underestimated what's worth protecting." Walker's eyes narrowed, and I saw the flicker of something dark. Anger, maybe, or pure greed. "This isn't over," he spat, voice thick with venom. "You think you've won today? You're just a pebble in the way of something much bigger." He turned sharply, storming off toward his car, but I didn't move. I kept my gaze locked on him, knowing this wasn't the end, not even close. As the driveway gate slammed shut behind him, I pulled out my phone and snapped a few pictures of the documents I'd spread out. Every detail, every signature, every line drawn by my grandfather's hand. I had played my hand, and it was powerful. But I knew Walker. He'd be back, and soon. That's when I realized this fight was only just beginning. I glanced at the horizon, where the sun was starting to dip behind the trees, casting long shadows over Reynolds Lake. The peaceful surface had betrayed nothing, but I knew better now. The real war was hidden beneath the calm, and I was ready for it. Walker's eyes widened in horror as I slammed the folder onto the table, revealing the old survey map and legal documents. His face went pale, and for a moment, he looked like a man who'd just been caught in the act of stealing something priceless, and he knew it. His lips parted, but no words came out. Instead, he stared at the papers, mouth trembling as if trying to deny what was right in front of him. I leaned closer, voice calm but firm. "You see, Mr. Walker, this land, this lake, my grandfather's land, has been protected by law for over 50 years, filed, sealed, and verified. That road you've been using, it's on my property. The lake access you promised, not yours to give, it's mine, and I've got the legal papers to prove it." His hands clenched into fists, but he didn't dare speak. Sweat beaded on his forehead as he stared at the documents like they were poison. I could see the wheels turning in his head, the desperation creeping in. He'd thought he had this all mapped out, the scheming, the lying, the months of planning. But now it was all crumbling piece by piece. "You think you can just walk in?" I continued, voice low but unwavering, "and take what's been in my family for generations? You're wrong. I own this land, every inch of it, and I will fight to keep it, because this isn't just about property, it's about history, respect, and what's right." Walker's face twisted with anger, then with something darker. Greed, maybe. "This isn't over," he hissed through clenched teeth. "You might have the papers, but I have connections. I have deals, and I'm telling you, this is just the beginning." He turned sharply, heading toward his car, but I didn't flinch. I knew this wasn't the end. Not even close. As he sped off down the gravel driveway, I took a deep breath and pulled out my phone. I snapped photos of every document, every signature, every line drawn by my grandfather's hand. Every piece of evidence that proved my ownership, my right to this land. I knew Walker would be back, probably with lawyers, developers, maybe even a gun in his pocket. But I had something he didn't: the truth and the law on my side. I looked out over Reynolds Lake, now darkening under the evening sky, and felt a strange calm settle over me. The surface of the water was perfect, mirror-like, hiding the chaos underneath. But I knew better. I knew that the real battle was only just beginning, hidden beneath this calm, waiting for the right moment to explode. And I was ready. Because I'd learned something long ago. The strongest defenses are built on truth. And no matter how much money or power they threw at me, I had the facts and I had the law. Walker's empire of lies was crumbling, and this was only the first crack. The next move was mine. And I wasn't about to lose this land. Not now, not ever. Walker's face twisted in rage as I slapped the final document on the table, the conservation easement that my grandfather had painstakingly filed. His eyes darted, from me to the paper, then to the empty space beyond the porch where his dreams of a multi-million-dollar resort had just been shattered. I saw the realization dawn on him, that every plan, every lie, every false promise was now exposed. He clenched his fist so tightly I thought his knuckles might burst. This can't be," he muttered, voice trembling with disbelief. "You're bluffing. This can't be legal." I looked him dead in the eyes, voice cold and steady. "It is. My grandfather put this land under protection more than 30 years ago, filed it with the state, sealed it with his signature. It's on record, unbreakable. You've been walking on land you never had rights to. That road you've been using? It's mine. The lake, it's mine. Every inch of this land belongs to my family, and I've got the legal proof to back it up." His face drained of color. The anger in his eyes gave way to a panic I'd never seen before. He started to speak, but no words came out, only harsh breaths as if he'd just been struck. I saw, the moment he realized he'd lost control, that everything he'd built on deception was crumbling beneath him. "Think again," I said softly, "because this is just the beginning. Your whole scheme, your lies, your threats, they're over. I own this land and I'm not giving it up." He looked around, eyes flickering with desperation. Without a word, he spun on his heels and stormed off toward his car, leaving a cloud of dust and a trail of broken illusions. I watched him go, knowing this wasn't the end, far from it. Walker would come back with lawyers, with more lies, maybe even threats or violence. But I was prepared. I had the truth, and I had the law on my side. I pulled out my phone and snapped photos of every document, every signature, every detail that proved my grandfather's legacy and my inheritance. I knew his departure was just a warning. The moment he realized he'd been beaten, he'd come back with a vengeance. But I wasn't afraid. Not anymore. Because I understood something now. The fight wasn't just about land. It was about history, respect, and the unbreakable bond my family had with this place. Walker thought he could steal it, that he could erase a century of heritage with a few lies and threats. But he had underestimated something far greater. What a family's love and a law's justice could accomplish when combined. As darkness settled over Reynolds Lake, I stood there, silent, staring at the tranquil water that hid secrets deeper than anyone could imagine. I knew the real battle was only beginning, hidden beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to explode in a storm of truth and justice. And when that moment came, Walker's empire of deception would crumble forever. Because this land, the lake, the trees, the memories, belonged to those who loved it, fought for it, and protected it with everything they had. And nothing, no power, no money, no lie, could ever take that away. In the stillness of the night, I whispered to the wind, "This is my family's land, and I'll defend it no matter what it takes." Because I finally understood what my grandfather had always known, that some truths are so powerful, so unbreakable, that they can change the course of history. And this land? This land was more than dirt and water. It was a testament to patience, perseverance, and the unshakable spirit of those who refuse to be defeated. Walker's dreams of riches and resort were nothing but sand slipping through his fingers, futile, fleeting, destined to be forgotten. Because in the end, the greatest victory isn't just holding on to land. It's knowing that the legacy of love and integrity endures long after the schemes and lies have fallen apart. That's the true power. And that's what I had. What my grandfather fought for. And what I was never going to let go of. Not now. Not ever.